It is time for the absolute bubbliest podcast in the world, Beer Bubble!
Hi guys, welcome to Beer Bubbles, the bubbliest podcast in the world, right here, right now anyhow. Bob Pease, what a legend. I'm so stoked to be sitting here with you.
Thank you.
You're the CEO of Brewers Association.
That is correct.
One of the most important organizations in the beer world and has been for the last, I'd say 30 years, 40 years?
30 probably, I think it's fair. Yeah.
When did you start?
I started at the association in 1993 as the customer service manager.
And from there you moved on. How long have you been the CEO?
I was named CEO in 2014, so it's been about 10 years. And prior to that, I was the COO, Chief Operating Officer. And prior to that, I was Vice President. So I've worked my way up. It's been a great journey.
What the BA has done for the beer world is it's beyond words.
Yeah, thank you.
I had the privilege to do the monitor here at the Stockholm Beer and Whiskey Festival for you one year.
Yep.
When Jürgen was fed up with it, and then he took it back because he missed it too much, I think. But tell us a bit about what the BA is and your relationship with this festival.
The Brewers Association is the trade association that represents the over 9,000 small and independent craft breweries now operating in the United States. As a trade association, our main product, I would say, is information, and we provide information and resources for breweries to run a better brewery, a safer brewery, a more sustainable brewery, tons of resources and on technical brewing, resources on how to run an HR department for a brewery if you don't have an HR director, resources on equity and inclusion, and then a really, really robust government affairs program at both the federal and state level. And I took over running our government affairs program in 2009, and I'm still heavily involved with the government affairs team, but now I have people. When I was doing it in 2009, I was our only lobbyist. I was in DC from 2009 to 2020, right up to the pandemic, at least once a month, sometimes twice a month. So traveling from Colorado, where the BA is based, to Washington, DC, to tell our story on Capitol Hill and to educate legislators, policymakers, and regulators on the contributions of these 9,000 businesses that were popping up all over the country, every state, every congressional district, and telling the story of job creation, innovation, entrepreneurship, and it really took hold.
And also the passion of the brewers, because that has to shine through, otherwise this business wouldn't be what it is.
Yeah, I mean, and you've met enough brewers that it's we have 7 brewers with us here this week that have traveled over as part of our export development program. The passion, the camaraderie, the collaboration, the innovation, the ingenuity, those are all hallmarks or characteristics of the American craft brewing community. And I use the word community intentionally. A lot of people like to say industry. I like to say community. Because you don't see that level of cooperation and collaboration amongst competitors in many industries.
Everyone helps out. Everyone shares recipes. Everyone's including. I noticed the first time I went to the US on a trip to visit a few brewers, everyone was so including. I was welcome everywhere. It's like, you're in the business. You're one of us.
Yeah, you found your tribe.
Yeah.
As my friend Kim Jordan, who started New Belgium, used to say.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that is because somebody helped them.
Yeah.
And it kind of really started with Ken Grossman, Sierra Nevada, in late 70s, early 80s. Well, the person that helped Ken the most was Fritz Maytag.
Yeah.
from Anchor. Sure. And Ken will tell you that, every day you talk to him. So that started there, and I think that's just been passed down from now generation to generation. Craft is around 40 years old. So we're really into at least the second generation of craft brewing in the U.S.
Steve, his brother, is coming over once a year to Sweden.
I was just with Steve last month in Johannesburg.
Okay, cool.
We were at the Craft Brewers Association of South Africa, their annual conference, first one. They call it Beer Camp. So Steve and I spoke. Pete Brown from the UK, you may know, great author, great beer ambassador. He was another one of the speakers. Yeah, so Steve's a good man, and he's got a great job.
And he has threatened to retire for years and years and years, and you just can't. You've threatened to retire as well. Is it going to be the same thing?
No, but I am retiring.
Are you sure?
Yes.
We need you, man.
Thank you, but sometime in early 2025, once the association's board of directors finds my replacement, I'll be moving on. Totally my choice. I've been there 32 years. It's been a great run, but I love to work, and I love to work hard, but I also like to play, and I want to retire when I'm young enough and hopefully healthy enough to be able to enjoy my retirement for 20 years. Play some golf. Yeah. I definitely play golf. Never gotten to play with Marianne. I would really like to enjoy that. I know my friend Steve Hindy from Brooklyn. He's played with Marianne. I guess there used to be this 24-hour golf tournament where
I've played that. I used to work for Canadian Brewery when Brooklyn and Carlsberg had that cooperation.
So I never got to.
I played that 4 years running. It's like a crazy day.
But yeah, I used to kid Marianne. The only reason I kept coming to this festival was to get my Titleist golf balls with the Stockholm Beer and Whiskey Festival logo on there.
So, but this is the 20th year that BA has had presence at the Stockholm Beer and Whiskey Festival.
We're very
and the
proud
32nd year of the festival itself.
Yeah.
That cooperation, that must be something special for you guys.
It's super special to me. Marianne and Jorgen and really all the importers that, when I was coming a lot, it was Galatea, Brill, Wicked Wine, Invicta, great brands. They've all been great to work with. But how this all came about was Jack Joyce, the founder of Rogue Brewing in Newport, Oregon. He turned the Brewers Association on to the fact that there was federal grant money available to promote the export of American craft beer. And so we checked into that, and he was right. And there's a program through the United States Department of Agriculture called the Market Access Program, where they have money to give to associations to promote American agricultural products. Beer is an agricultural product, just like wine. And sure enough, we qualified, and we were named or designated by the USDA as the cooperator of American beer. And what that means is they don't just give you a check for hey, here's $500,000. What you do is you write a plan of activities that you're going to engage in, spend the money, and then submit your receipts for reimbursement.
Okay, yeah.
And so in 2004, we knew nothing, absolutely nothing. And so myself and an international consultant we had hired traveled over here to check out the Stockholm Beer and Whiskey Festival. It was our first time traveling internationally to promote the presence of American craft beer. We had also organized a shipment of samples to be displayed at the festival. And we've been doing that ever since. And at that time, no American craft beers were legally selling into Systembolaget or importing into Sweden. But shortly thereafter, we had established a relationship with Systembolaget. We had our presence here at the festival. We met importers, and we facilitated relationships between the importers and Systembolaget with brewery members that were interested in entering the market. And that has led to sales of, quite a bit of sales for American craft breweries interested in exporting. And for us, for the Brewers Association, that's a classic activity for a trade association to help their members access new markets to sell their product.
And help them with different legal stuff with how the system works in different countries.
All the labeling. Yeah, we have a very robust. Our website is brewersassociation.org, and then one of our programs is our export development program. And then you go on there and you'll see a ton of resources on, labeling requirements for country, for Sweden, the schedule of tenders for Systembolaget, and it's very, very robust. And we're really proud of the work that we have done in 20 years to open up markets. First with Sweden, but then now all over the world. We're active, not in every country and all over the world. Our biggest export markets are, Sweden, UK, Canada, Japan, Korea, Mexico. Those are our prime markets for export for our members.
I had the privilege to work for Jugge at Oliver Twist. Great privilege, and also the hustle with working with him for 7.5 years. He is the nicest person in the world, but he's also crazy. Totally bonkers, that man.
Yeah.
But you need some of those to because he actually helped you guys make it happen here, and he's been at this festival since the start. And
we were turned on to Jorgen by our friends at the United States Embassy when we were first, exploring. Well, we got this money. Where should we go? Where should we start? And we had people in the embassy who contacted us and said, "Hey, there's this guy in Stockholm. He's a bar owner, but he's an importer, and he is relentlessly passionate about American craft beer. Maybe you should come check this show out." And so we did, and they were right.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. I worked this fair loads of years for him, as well as working at his bar here in Stockholm, Oliver Twist.
Yep.
And that gave me the chance to, not just try all these beers, but also meet all these brewers, because they come over and visit, even by themselves, not when you do have some kind of activation.
Sure,
and that's been, to me, it was an eye-opener. Well, back in '96, I used to work with British beers, because that's what was available.
Yep, we followed in their footsteps.
And then ended up drinking some Swedish beers that were good, and I heard they were inspired by this one beer that came out of California with this neon green label on it.
It's like Sierra Nevada.
And I was like, so Sierra Nevada Pale Ale was actually what started up the wave of brewing for craft brewers here in Sweden. And now we're sitting here, and American beer is a staple.
Yeah. I mean, we call that the full circle effect, where the American craft brewing community, in its infancy, when it was nascent, they were truly inspired by the beers and brewers from the great beer producing countries like the United Kingdom, Belgium, Germany. They sampled those beers, emulated the styles that those brewers were making in those countries, put a little American flair or twist on it, and that was the start of American craft brewing. And then what happened is then you had brewers from all over the world start emulating
your guys walking past
the American craft brewing scene.
Yeah.
And so it's gone full 360 degrees, and we're really proud of that. Now you can get great beer in every country around the globe, and you'll be in the craziest place, and somebody will have an American IPA on tap, and most of the time they're quite good.
It was so cool. I spoke to Steve from Bootstraps.
Yeah, Steve and
Leslie.
He
was in Systembolaget today because one of his beers was actually released today at the Swedish Monopoly.
Yeah.
So I had to go in, take a picture with the tasting notes and everything on the label. It's
and for the Brewers Association, we had a small role in making that happen.
Yeah.
So so now Bootstrap, Steve and Leslie, amazing, beautiful people. They've had some commercial success by engaging in our program as a member of the Brewers Association, and that makes us feel good.
I think it's cool also that Kevin's here from Allagash. Because I've known him since he was at Avery. When I was, he was here first with, I think Lee Chase was with him
from Stone.
Yeah, who used to be at Stone.
Yeah.
Who's now left everything and moved to Portugal.
Yes, I know that. Yeah.
But I met him there.
A lot of Americans are doing that.
And Travis Rupp, the crazy beer historian, who did all the historic beers for Avery. They were over here.
Yeah.
So I got to know them, and then he moved to Sweden. moved back
I could
to
live here.
Maine. Yeah. It's so cool. This is fantastic. And I know you're not going to reconsider, but we would really love you to reconsider retiring because you make a difference, my friend.
Well, thank you.
It's
really
been an honor and a
that.
privilege
Yeah.
to have these years with you here.
It's it's never felt like work
Yep.
to me. It's been the honor of my professional career to have helped in some small way change the way beer is looked upon in the United States and around the world.
And you're always welcome.
I'll
I
come
also
back.
play golf, so
Yeah.
whenever you come over, just tell me, and
Okay.
we'll take a round of golf.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always end these interviews with, let's say, a hard question, not a tough question.
Sure.
And the hard question is, it's not you can drink one more beer for the rest of your life. I'm actually going to be meaner to you. Because the Grim Reaper is coming to collect today.
Okay.
You can have one more beer. Any brewery, any in production, out of production, doesn't really matter. But it's your final beer. What would that beer be?
Whew, that is a tough one. I'm going to go with Pliny the Younger.
Okay.
From Russian River Brewing Company, and Vinny and
Vinny is
Natalie
fantastic.
Salurzo, and there's so many amazing beers and thoughts that run through my head. 60 Minute from I'm thinking of the people as much as I am the beer, but 60 Minute from Dogfish.
The Abyss from the Shoots.
Odell IPA is one of my
wow.
favorite beers. Doug, Wynn, and Corky. But yeah, I'll stick with Pliny and Vinny and Natalie.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Absolute pleasure, man.
Cheers.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Now it is time for the absolute bubbliest podcast in the world.